Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Here together on a Monday, if you're listening live on a Monday, episode 197, Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. He's Kev, I'm Sean. If you were looking for two other guys, they're not here. Kev, 197, nearing 200. I think for a wrestling podcast, 200 episodes. But we're not really a wrestling podcast. I mean, we have to cover wrestling. You came to the world's consciousness via wrestling. So we have to tip our hat to that.
I don't know. When I was arrested by the FBI, I think it had nothing to do with wrestling.
I don't know. Was it illicit activities in Tennessee?
No. It was later in life.
Yeah. I knew there were some illicit activities in Tennessee.
Before the strip club. So when I was, I was watching a movie the other day, and it was funny because when I first started dating my wife, an FBI agent came to our table at a restaurant, sat down, and Tam and I were sitting across from each other, so he sat down to my left and just put the card in front of me and said, "Just want to let you know we got our eyes on you." He left the table, and I just looked at the card. My wife said, "Who is he?" And I handed her the card. This time we were just dating, and she said, "Why would an FBI agent say he's watching you?"
And you said, "Will you marry me?"
I said, "You don't know this, baby, because you're not clairvoyant, but one day there's going to be this thing called OnlyFans, and this guy has really got the thing for me." When we were watching a show the other day, and the FBI agent dropped the card on the table, and Tamara said, "Oh, it's the same card." I guess I said, "Well, it's the same emblem."
Yeah, that hasn't changed.
Yeah, that has.
In a minute.
So that was kind of a funny thing.
Well, good. I mean, listen, we're two guys at a bar, right? If anyone who says you got a wrestling podcast, I usually go, well, it's that and two guys at a bar.
It's a conversation. Remember when they deemed what we were, and we got deemed as a conversation. It was that. That's
that was Spotify, right? It was the
Spotify
category.
It was conversational. That's what our classification was. So that's what we do.
And shit, if that's what AI says, that's what we are.
Yeah. So
there's no bias there.
No. So if you
just listening.
Yeah. That's we have a conversation every week. And it's like I'm kind of I'm at that tipping point where it's like we've kind of let some people on the boat on a Saturday afternoon, and like neither one of us had any intention of drinking, and they got drunk, and we're not allowing people on the boat anymore. So
We're taking control of the boat.
yeah. So if you think you're going to leave a comment on YouTube, no.
There's somebody at the door.
Yeah.
The velvet rope.
Yeah. You're not leaving a comment. If you want to leave a comment, have the balls to put your email down and put it through the proper.
Or I think the perfect way would be to go to KliqThisTV.com and become part of the 11 Soft Club. You could be here. You could ask you a question.
Yeah.
Could have some.
That would be too close to.
Getting close to you, yeah. Proximity.
Yeah, that would be like manning up.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You know, when you're a troll, the last thing you want to do is come out in the sunlight.
I think when Amazon created the star rating system, that was a bad turn. That was a left turn off the road of decency, because who the fuck am I to give a star rating to anything? I can enjoy one thing more or less than another, guided by my personal taste. But for me to put any kind of official stamp, like my opinion that this is the best drink, is unfounded. So I can tell you as a friend, yeah, try this, and you don't like it and I like it, but there's something too official about my being able to tell the world it's worth 1 star.
But
People
at
have
the
too much
same
power.
time, the scale is 1 to 5 stars, so sometimes it's like you get blocked. You have to rate something to move forward. So if anything does that, they get a 1, and then
Yeah, but that's the problem.
right, they get a 1, but it's like, to me, like the 1 to 5 is like tipping. I see things on X sometimes, and these people are basically, and I know it's just trolling, but they're like, you know, and they add their own tips. The tip should be, and the tip's like 30%. And I'm thinking, now I'll tip 30% if I get treated like the fucking King of France. But if you bring my steak out medium well when I ask for rare,
Or you don't have any steak that night.
oh yeah, I mean you're at a 20. I mean to go below 15 is like, I mean, you just never brought food to the table. I just, you know, but it's very difficult to buy a $190 bottle of wine when I used to drink, and just say $200. So it's a $200 bottle of wine, and I'm tipping $60 on that. I can buy the bottle of wine. I can buy the bottle of wine for $69 up at the liquor store. You're going to tell me, and 9 times out of 10, the guy that's uncorking it sets it on the table, botches the fucking whole ordeal, you know, doesn't even know the process, and you're paying $60, like, but I used to.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm
now the
going
whole
out.
tipping thing, I think it's now accepted, where I thought it was an outgrowth of COVID, but it's staying, where they ask you as you're checking out on the gimmick if you'd like to add a tip for anything. Now, tips were for anything beyond the job, right? This waiter was great. He hustled. She hustled.
Yeah, they sell
out all
you
the
a
food.
Desante,
You go to the counter with a toothbrush, a douche, and a dildo, and they want 15% for ringing it up.
And they do it at the airport. And so I last time I was there, I bought one of those core protein drinks, and it's like $6 for a $3 drink, and I sign my I really can't. It's kind of off, so I kind of sign my name, and the lady looks at me. She goes, "You need to." And then I looked at it, and it was 15, 20, 25, or other. So now it's like you're painted in the corner. So when you look at it, $6, 15%, what does it matter, right?
Right.
But you're still getting hosed. So you press other and then put 0. So,
Right.
yeah, which is way more effective.
Yeah.
That's like saying, fuck you. No, fuck you. You know, like, no.
Yeah.
I'm giving.
But it's
You're not making change. You're not doing anything. You're not even picking up my item. You're taking a thing that's on you're like wanding it as it sits in front of you. Like you're doing the least you could possibly do. And you think I'm going to pay you 15% of that item's cost, which is already 50% overpriced.
Yeah, the dude who it goes back to the guy who uncorks a $200 bottle of wine versus the guy who uncorks a $22 bottle. Maybe you won't get 22 in a restaurant, whatever, $30 bottle of wine in a restaurant. The physicality is the same. The muscle exertion is the same, but one is getting a much larger tip.
I remember when I was at Shula's in Houston
Love
at the
Shula's.
Marriott.
It's gone in Orlando. You know that, right?
They're all
It's
gone.
no longer in Orlando.
It's not in.
There's one in an airport. What's the airport that still has a Shula's?
I don't know. There's not
grill.
one in-
Shula's Grill in.
I don't know.
Not
Maybe Miami. Because I mean, I know that there.
Oh
used to
no,
be-
Jacksonville. Jacksonville.
Okay, so I stayed at the Troy Marriott the week I was up in Detroit, and they used to have a Shula's there, and it was gone. But I used to always think it was cool because the menu of steaks was on a football.
On the ball. That was perfect.
Right, the ball, the whited out side of the ball with the
Yep. Painted on the.
yeah.
You could get like great merch that he signed a bunch of balls and books and shit.
It was, you know, hello. But I remember sitting at this, and I said to the guy, I said, man, I looked at the wine list. There's really nothing that jumped off on me. I said, man, I want something really alcohol forward. I want a really big, bold. He goes, I have a Syrah. And he said, no, I think it's a Shiraz. It's Australian. It's like it's like two gnarly hands, or I think that's what the ventor's name was. And it was like $150. The guy comes over. He's got the white, linen napkin, crossing it as he puts it on his forearm to display it to me. And I said, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I've never had it before. And he puts the napkin on his forearm and takes his hand and unscrews the bottle, because that's when all the Australian wines went to screw tops, because the corks were fucking, it was you know, nobody was putting corks in their wine. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I just paid that. And then he poured it, and I was like, fuck, man, that's a wicked glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I did a wine tasting last cruise I was on. The guy was great. He was very knowledgeable, small group. It was me and my wife, 2 other couples, one on either side of me. And he went through bottling techniques and stuff, and even shape of bottle, and you know all this already, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But I always, the layperson, associated the screw cap with something lesser, right?
Oh,
lesser quality.
Yeah, like Mad Dog 2020.
Right, in my mind. But what he explained was it was the type of grape and gas and whatever where it has absolutely nothing to do with quality or price. It was just certain kinds of wine and certain kinds of bottles lend better with the screwed cap. So that was an education for me.
My wife drinks a wine called Conundrum.
I think
it may be in the it might be from the Camus winery, but it's like, I don't know, maybe if you buy 3 of them, you get them for $20 a bottle or whatever. But she likes it because it's kind of bold, and it's not a cheap wine, but she can have a glass or 2 and she can close it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just set it on the counter and have finish it the next day.
Do you do that? I'm gonna forget the name of it. It goes through the cork. You depress it, and it extracts. It allows you to pour kind of through the cork, and then seals
I've
it.
seen that. No, when
damn thing.
When I was drinking wine.
The bottle didn't stand a chance, so there was no worry about preserving the cork.
It wasn't whether or not there was going to be one drink. It's whether or not it was going to have they were going to find 2 bodies. So.
You mentioned to me, you might have even said it on air, that during COVID, you carrying the recycling out every couple of days.
I used to fucking put my weightlifting belt on. Because I would do it. I used to call it the Ken Patera fucking wine lift, and so the recycle bins. You know how big a Florida recycle bin is. It's decent size, but the old school ones have the really big sturdy handles. So that's your bottom one, and then the new cheaper ones just kind of have a rib. So I would stack them. Because I'm only making one trip out to the curb, and I'd fucking bend down like a deadlift, tuck my ass, fucking basically ass to my fucking heels, and fucking power it up, and then once you power it up from over on the side where the recycle is, now you've got to get past the vehicle, so you got to take it's a sideways walk.
Gotta go sideways, yeah.
And then you've got a good foot. You've got to duck to get underneath the garage door. So there's some fucking maneuvering there and you've got all these fucking bottles, and then then at that point it's just the power man. It's like the strongman walk, where you just have to walk it down. But then you have to do the same thing, not to blow your back out. You've got to do the opposites. You've got to do the set down. So you got to do another almost deep squat, and so it was.
It's like a deadlift. Would that be a deadlift?
Yeah, I would.
I don't know my terms. I think deadlift.
I would say.
How about a snatch? I always just wanted to say I'm doing some snatch. What is the difference?
I just got my blood back.
Okay.
My newest blood work.
So it's going to have nothing to do with snatch, I hope.
No, this is my ALT and my AST. So those are your liver enzymes, and 0 to 41 is good on one, and 0 to 40 and my numbers were 35 and 29. So, and somebody said on our show that I had some kind of kidney problems because I urinate. He heard me urinate on the show.
Right.
I have
Yes.
a kidney problem, which I tried to. And then somebody said that on X that I have. He listens to the show, and I must have a kidney problem. And I tried to explain to him that when you go for dialysis, it's because you can't urinate. Your kidneys don't function. And
you bothered to address the medical professional that posted that on X. Good for you.
But my GFR, this of course is estimated, and it should be greater than 60.
What's a GFR? You can't jump to that. What's a GFR?
It's
an enzyme?
No, this is your kidney health.
Okay, the GFR is kidney health, and it should be what?
So there's 5 stages of chronic kidney disease, and mine was 91. Okay, so 90 mn or more is healthy kidneys or kidney damage with normal or high GFR. So I don't have any, at my age, I have no problem. Now, if I was at 15, I'd have kidney failure on dialysis. If I was 15 to 29, I'd have a severe decrease in, I'm guessing this is just the ability to piss. 30 to 59, a moderate decrease. 60 to 89, kidney damage with a mild decrease. And mine is just healthy kidneys or kidney damage with normal or high piss ability. So I'm having to say that I don't have any kidney damage if I'm above the 90. I'm a 91 or 92 there. So then I had no red marks. Now, it used to be, they continually change these, the numbers. So it used to be if your HDL was above 40, your HDL was fine. Now your HDL needs to be above 60. So my HDL was 48. So that's your good cholesterol.
The good cholesterol. Yeah.
My bad cholesterol, which needs to be less than 100, my bad cholesterol was 20. So I'm 48 to the good, 20 to the bad.
What was your did you give your triglyceride number yet? What is that?
Triglycerides were 64.
Wow.
And my total cholesterol was 77.
So my 378 that I got on triglycerides when I began to lose weight is bad.
That would have been 315 more than what I have.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Yeah.
And then the one that you really want to kind of keep an eye on is your C-reactive protein.
Is that the liver?
No, your C-reactive protein is the heart.
Oh.
So the range goes from 0 to 3. Mine was 0.7, and low risk of coronary disease is 1 or lower. So I'm low risk. I'm not average risk. I'm not high risk. So.
Did you ever do a? They suggested my cardiologist was going to have me go do a plaque. Is it a plaque test?
Yeah, I just had the nuclear. I had a nuclear PET scan where they put the nuclear dye in you, and they take basically 1 billion photographs of your heart from every angle, and it shows where there's plaque or blockage.
Right.
I had that done.
Okay. pretty uninvasive.
Yeah, it's totally you get shot up with a nuclear dye, and since my knees are fucked up, I go ahead at the same time and they give you a drug, which is fucking. This is horrendous. Is it brings your heart to like it's like being on a treadmill.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Yep.
And it's a drug that does that. So I'm medically induced because like my knees will give out before my fucking they'll get a reading. So the first thing you do is you get the stress test done, and that fucking throws that dye all through your heart. And then you go lay down and you get the PET scan done. And I passed. I had no issues with either of those two things. So.
Yeah, I guess I'll do. It sounds like a fun afternoon. Maybe I'll get that taken care of. Why the fuck not?
It's kind of like it's kind of like the old fucking. If you had to give up one of these two things, if you had to give up blowjobs or cheese, which one would you give up?
Oh, boy. And we can't just combine them into one singular event. They have to be two separate.
You can give up blowjobs or give up cheese.
God, it's like the devil made this quiz. I think I'd give up cheese, right?
See,
I mean, I can live.
I would give up blowjobs because fucking man, they kill my jaws.
Very good. Right. Yes, I didn't see it coming at all. I'm sitting here pondering the question like my life depends on it, and there's a hatch under me that's going to open if I answer incorrectly.
Yeah, see, my buddy told me that at dinner last night. I thought because I did the same thing. I'm just like, I'm not that big of a cheesehead, but fuck, man, like.
Yeah, are we talking Fiore's mozzarella? What are we talking here? Kev, Michigan it is.
Wow, that was. I think that the number they came up with was that Michigan paid $12 million for that team.
In what? How did they establish
NIL.
that?
The NIL money.
Well, it was worth it because you said it when we were talking with John, and you said when they're on.
Yeah,
it's like,
and they were on the whole. They averaged over 90 points a game throughout the tournament, except for against Connecticut. And people will like that are Connecticut fans would be like, yeah, well, Connecticut was in it man. They cut it to 4, they cut it to 5 at the end. 69.3% of the game, Michigan was in no trouble whatsoever of losing the game. So basically 70% of the game, Michigan, Connecticut got their ass. Michigan had some fucking athletes. Period. But the crazy thing is, Reed, who was the center for Connecticut, played at Michigan last year. Mara, the center from Michigan, played at UCLA last year. And it's just like when you look at it's like, it's not like the old fucking, like right now, the wooden championship, those, bring in a freshmen weren't even eligible to play, and you go with the Alcindor / Jabbar years, the Wicks Rowe years into the
has it
fucking
become
Walton
too much? Has it become too professional at the college level with the with that whole aspect of it, where choosing a school meant the world to you, and you stuck with the program, and the coach stuck with you, and
yeah, but the coach doesn't stick with you, and they make so much fucking money, and they're it's it's just a byproduct of our world, of how things are. Like, why would you possibly do all that and not make any cash, and your payoff is a $30,000 a year athletic scholarship? That's your payoff. Or you can make $4.5 million a year and go back, and after it compounds interest for fucking 10 years, you can go back and get your degree on the compounded interest on one of your funds. if you're really that much of a stickler to, you know.
The little bit of the tournament that I did catch, I was talking to Kevin on the phone Monday night, and I said, is it tip-off yet? He goes, it's halftime, Mr. Basketball. I said, okay. But so the little bit of the tournament that I was watching, I was thinking about it in terms of how many of the guys I'm watching now are going to be able to, despite what they're doing on a college tournament court, how many of them are going to be able to go play pro?
Next level? Fuck, few.
Size-wise, or just
few.
Heart. And
I would,
that?
well, because it's like the NFL. There's such a, like, Tamara was watching the games with me, and she watches, like, I watch a lot of NBA basketball. So she's just like, why are they so fucking skinny in college? You know, she's like, why are everybody's so fucking skinny? And I said, well, the big guys are going to be thin. I said that, you know, the kid from Michigan's 7'3". I said, you know, there's only so many Jokic's in the world that are, you know, 7 foot, 300 pounds, that with his skill level, which I put easily in my top 5 players of all time. I mean, it's like, if you don't, I watched him against Wemby, and yeah, Wemby got, like, I think, like, Jokic had 40 and Wemby had 37. But the fact that Jokic is going against an alien, and it's just like, you can barely probably put a fucking, well, there's not even basically, I guess the Sunday Times is still kind of a thick paper, you know. So
very thick, sure.
That used to be the term that the guy couldn't jump high enough to put a fucking Sunday's Times underneath him. But no, it's just, there's, and, you know, the 3-point line is moved in closer in college. The skill level,
that's true too.
The skill level of the NBA, yeah, I was going to say 2%.
1.1% to 1.2% of NCAA men's basketball players go on to play in the NBA.
And that includes overseas and G leagues. Oh no, it's 2%.
So,
no, it's 2%. It's under 2%, including that. So
right. So
since I got paid a dime to play, then I was in the 2%.
Right. Looks like 46 to 60 players are drafted from NCAA schools annually out of 18,000 total NCAA participants. 46 to 60 out of 18,000. Wow.
But Division I, 3.8% are taken.
Right. So now you get to Division I and all that. But I remember when I was 18 and or maybe 19, whatever. I started college, and I'd read about or see on TV some NCAA player as a junior or a rising junior about to be drafted and saying they're going to enter the draft. And I was that age. And I'm watching basketball. Now I'm short, but still, someone my age, and I'm watching like who would have been there? Knicks, like 91, 92. Look at it, Charles Oakley, fucking Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, that's some studs.
Anthony Mason. I'm like,
I think
I don't care how
wasn't Starks on that team?
John Starks was at the point.
Yeah, he was.
But I'm looking at these fucking guys. I'm like, no one my age is going to step onto that court.
Oh, I remember being at a Knicks game and being like 3 rows back behind the visitors' bench and watching Mason run like towards me on the sideline, and you're thinking like, put pads on that motherfucker and put a football in his hands and have him turn the corner on a fucking 218-pound fucking free safety.
You better tackle low.
Yeah,
go for the ankles.
I mean,
Yeah.
fuck. No, the NBA's got. I think the NBA is you know, as far as all the rosters, that's the best athletes in the world.
That could be.
With just speed, strength, agility, you know.
I sat very low for some games, like at when the Nets were as horrible as they were for so long. You could actually get courtside tickets to see other teams. It was so bad. Like, they knew it. It was like all the advertisements to buy Nets tickets were who was coming to town. It was like, here's a 3-ticket package. Jordan's coming with the Bulls. Bird's coming with the Celtics. You know, that's how they had to advertise buying tickets to see.
That's Orlando had a couple of years like that.
Sure, I'm sure.
Or,
But probably before Shaq.
No, like
In between.
Yeah, Shaq. There was a lot of fucking slim years at fucking Orlando. I mean, they got Howard, then they lost time. They just couldn't keep a team together more than like 2 or 3 years that was a contender.
But sitting that low, Kev, I realized, because not only are they like right there, but you can hear the game.
Oh, yeah.
Now, unless you've played basketball or sat courtside, you're watching it on TV or you're 47 rows back, you're not hearing the game. It's a very vocal experience between the coaches, players to themselves, to their team, to the other team. And I said, I feel like I'm just watching the pros, but if I close my eyes, I'm hearing a park and recreation game, basically, in Jersey City. It's the same. There's a little taunting. They're laughing. It's like you think that they're at God level. But, I mean, they're serious. They have careers, but they're having fun. That's the beauty of the audio experience of it was so different sitting there.
It was always like when I played football and I walked, after class is over and you walk down there and you go in the fucking, you're in the room and your fucking gear's laying there and you put your shoulder pads in. It's just like shit ain't washed. You practiced it the day before, and it's freezing cold outside already, and you're going to go out there, and then you got to go out and go against your friend. You got to go out there and fucking tackle your buddy. You're inflicting pain to one of your friends, and that's just that mentality. Or you can go into the heated gymnasium with a pair of shorts and a tank top on, some nice kicks. In between drills, you can look at the cheerleaders up in the balcony jumping around in their fucking tighties, and, you know, on the other side would be the wrestlers running the stairs, you know, sucking a stone trying to make weight. But, like, there was never, basketball practice was like the strip club. There's never a day that you don't want to play hoops. And if you work at a strip club, there's never a day you don't want to go to work.
Yeah. And something else that, unless you played a sport yourself or got very close to a sport physically, you'd know, is the aroma of the sport. The aroma of a locker room, the aroma of hitting somebody in yesterday's pads that weren't. And Mando, had it existed,
God,
back then,
I was hoping that you were going here because I got such a good story. But go ahead.
I want to hear it after I tell everybody that not only is Mando would be the answer for a professional sports team, it could be your answer too. And we're going to make this all a lot easier for you because of the 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code for our listeners. Spring's in the air, guys. The weather's warming up. All right, I'm looking forward to getting out a little bit too. And I never have to worry because I'm mandoed up. No fucking joke. Me and Kev, maybe our first Mando came courtesy of the company, but I have not let it go, nor has Kev, in all this time. And it is whole body deodorant. So whoever we're talking to here, if you have just your basic underarm BO, maybe your balls smell hellacious, Mando's going to take care of that, and they hit it at the source. You're not just slathering scent over hellacious scent. Okay, some men mask that with scents. And Mando men get it done right. So don't mask it, Mando it. Head to shopmando.com because for a limited time, new customers are getting 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code, which is KLIQ. Kliq. You're going to use the code Kliq at checkout at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. That's important for them to know that we sing their praises lovingly every week. Mando's got you covered with deodorant plus sweat control. Say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. You would agree, Kev?
Yes. So I just purchased a new can of the sports spray.
The spray.
So So when I get up and take a shower, I don't put anything on. I don't put deodorant on. I don't plug my pores. Like I wait until I go someplace, and then right now on the counter of the kitchen island is a little like a tub of hair gel and my can of MANDO sports scent. Mist. So
well, that's the blue one, is it not? I think, right?
No, it's looks like the
same as mine. Okay.
Yeah, is that sports scent?
No, this is Mount Fuji. I have right.
Okay,
here.
It doesn't look. It's orange, just like that. I don't think they.
Okay.
I think you have to. So if you want the one that I have, get the sports scent. Because it looks just like that. So I go in there. Now it's time for me, and my wife was kind enough to make me some coffee. So I have my coffee, and of course, like once you have your coffee, you gotta go ahead and drop.
Take care of business.
Yeah, I drop that pre-workout dooski. So I do the dooski. I take the gel.
Lost you for a second. You were taking a deuce.
Yes, I'm taking a deuce. I go in with, I put a little gel ski in the hair, wash my hands, and I go out, and I spray a little MANDO under each one of the fucking pitolas, and I go ahead and lift a leg to the side and get the screw tie. And my wife is in the TV room. So she walks through the arches, she walks in and she goes, "What did you make?" I said, "What?" She said, "What did you make? What smells so good?" I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "It smells like watermelon." Or she's like, "What did you make?" I said, I just sprayed MANDO. She goes, "Well, it smells good." I said, "Fuck yeah, right?" Like, and she was just
Not the beef Wellington you were going to get if
but
I
I'm
didn't.
just saying, like when your wife comes in, she goes, "What did you just make?" She thought I actually made something.
Whipped up a fruit salad in there.
All
That's
I did-
unbelievable.
All I did was throw a little mist under each pit and a little on the scroti, and I'm thinking, fuck. And it's 20% off?
Unbelievable, Baba. Go ahead,
That's-
guys.
that's- I mean,
Shopmando.com.
Yeah, that shit's it is
Kev, there's no wonder our advertisers love us.
Well, but
We give them the real deal.
but they're like Ridge. My wife is like, "When is Ridge going to come back? I want to get another one of those Chargers." I'm like, "Go online and buy one, you millionaire." Like, no, I want them to give me that Ridge Charger. I bet you she has sold 1,000 of those to her friends.
She probably has. As long
That
keep using the code, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lana. I lost mine to Lana. She
She
commandeered it. It's the shit, though, man. I do love that.
And
I love Mando.
Man, Mando's the shit, and that Ridge booster's the shit.
Kev, I came across some NBA records that were strange. These are NBA records they don't talk about, and they're the commentators won't drop it during a game.
I saw that in the notes, like you sent me a text.
Yes.
And some of it's like I know the one you were going to bring up was the Garnett one for traveling. That's when people there was actually a traveling call in the NBA. Like now,
It wasn't too long ago. Kevin Garnett.
Dude, I don't know the last time you watched an NBA game. It's like watching German handball. You got to bounce the ball once and you can run to the bat.
Well, they're keeping it exciting.
There's
Kev.
as much dribbling in basketball as there is in lacrosse nowadays.
So the stat Kevin's talking about is most career traveling violations.
The Euro step. Yeah, Garnett would have 3 in today's in today's NBA.
Most fouls by an entire team in a single game was Utah, 52 on April 9th, 1990. I don't know about you, but when I hear too many whistles in a fucking game, it gets me fucking crazy.
But when that was that laden. That was probably
Well,
like
90. What was it? John Stockton and Karl Malone.
yeah, but they had like Mark Eaton. They had some big like Frankenstein motherfuckers that they could bring in. There was like because you get 6, so. You get 3 fucking monsters in there. You got 18 fouls right there that you can.
How about ejections? Rasheed
and the game,
Wallace.
the game was so much more physical.
Rasheed Wallace, 29 ejections in his career.
Here's one for you. I don't believe in all the games that Wilt Chamberlin played that he ever fouled out.
That'd be an interesting stat to look up.
I'm going to say I'm 99.973% sure of that.
He shows up in 2 stats that I have here, and the one that I guess I never considered. I never watched Wilt play like live game. Not talking about a documentary or something.
I saw him live.
It was before me. So you always hear about the 100-point game.
I saw him live in Cobo with the Lakers when they were saying that he was done, and that was when he scored like 50 against. I think he was still Alcindor / Jabbar, but I think he was Alcindor, and then came in and torched Lanier the next night. And Lanier was a good fucking solid fucking player, big ass fucking, and he just dunked at will.
I have your stat for you here. You're correct. He never fouled out. On top of that, add these numbers to that if you're going to bring that up to somebody. 1,205 games total. And averaged only 2 fouls a game, playing 45.8 minutes per game. It's almost impossible, I think.
It's almost as impossible as fucking 20,000 women.
Well, he did claim that, didn't he?
Yeah.
It made me buy the book. I think it was called A View from Above.
I think it was just like any other just like any other 7-foot black millionaire that lives next door. I think that was the name of his game, or his book. Steve, what was the Chamberlain book?
I think it was A View from Above. He'll find it. But 45 minutes and you average 2 fouls in 1,200 games.
How many did he have? View from Above.
Yeah, that was it. He only wrote
one. He didn't have one fucking just like any other 7-foot black millionaire that lives next door.
Well, Steve, zoom into that book about him that was called Wilt, because there was a subtitle on that. You see the one on the left there by David Shaw? That picture in the actual book cover, it does say something under Wilt. So maybe it was the subtitle for that book. Very important to have good subtitle for those Amazon hits. Not that one. You see the one I'm talking about, Steve? All the way to the right. It's called Wilt. What does it say under the W?
Just like, pull it up. Make it bigger, Steve.
Is that as
big
as it's going to go?
Make it bigger, Steve.
We're loaded with double entendre tonight.
Just
Make it
like
bigger.
Any other 7-foot black millionaire who lives next door. So, both of us are right.
There you go.
No thanks to the fucking bailiff to bring the fucking evidence.
Hand the evidence. Also from that, I had a Wilt stat. I had 2 Wilt stats that I wanted to bring up. 78-point game. It was most points and rebounds in a loss, and it was 78 points, which doesn't surprise me knowing what I know about Wilt. 43 boards.
He averaged one season like 50 points and 38 rebounds.
Unbelievable.
I think he averaged 50.1 one year.
Incredible. And also, so from that game, though, there's another stat. 2 players with 60 points up. 60 plus points in the same game.
And that was Baylor.
Correct. Yeah, Elgin Baylor with 63, and then Wilt with 78.
So that was later. That was later in Chamberlain's career.
But that's remarkable. As remarkable as all the wonderful people that listen and share comments with us. Like I am in send. They put all these letters together. I'm trying. I am. Greetings. Appreciate the wonderfully random tangents you guys go down. Quite the variety show, and I appreciate that. Mr. Nash mentioned the Illuminati, and I was wondering if he's a fan of the psychedelic rock band, the Mars Volta. If you haven't heard it, their new album.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it. I actually read that, and looked into it.
Okay. Psychedelic rock band. Now, this is a contemporary band?
It is what it was. Nothing that I went like, okay, thanks for the heads up. I'll
Okay.
listen to this.
But I'm just wondering if this is from the psychedelic rock era.
No,
like
isn't the end of that they have a new?
No, I don't see anything about new. I mean, Steve's showing me now it's a 2001?
Yeah, so
It looks like. Formed in 2001. All right, we'll take a listen. Thank you, I am. Gregory Krug. I think Nash was a good in-ring worker. Was he as good as Bret Hart, Nick Bockwinkel, or Ted DiBiase? No, but Nash understands ring psychology better than most. And I feel like the work rate phrase, I think the phrase work rate and the emphasis on this came about when us marks got our hands on the sheets. And we read what wrestlers were talking about and their phraseology and all that. And then this work rate thing started coming. And Meltzer, and I'll throw him in there because I credit him with being the first dirt sheet that probably landed, or the torch that landed in people's hands, the Observer or the Torch. And so then work rate started to become a discussion and a thing. And it never was before that. And I don't know if it is anymore with Markish fans.
No, I think
but it was
still
entertainment. They still say things like, oh, yeah, better work rate on him than the other. In this day and age, with WWE's this massive conglomerate, this huge entertainment industry, we're still talking about work rate.
There's always going to be three guys in the corner talking about who's the best director of photography.
Yeah, I know, and maybe that's me in that
case. So.
Yeah. Right. I was going to bring up Tom Cruise, but I do think there's a great actor in Tom Cruise, and it peeks its head out every once in a while. But, right. Are we going to talk about which multi-billion-dollar action star is the best actor?
Yeah, right?
Kind of does.
Didn't Punk say...
Wes is throwing into with Roger Deakins for the DP discussion.
I think Soderbergh does a pretty good job behind the lens.
Does he DP his own stuff? Okay. Delbert Prince. I love listening to Kevin Nash and Sean Oliver all day. That made me think, Kevin, imagine there was a channel that gave people us all day. What would the cameras be catching for Kevin all day? I know the Mando, the lift the leg Mando would have been an amusing moment, and then the exchange with Tamara. That I think people would have popped for that. There would have been the gym today. I know chest was worked.
Yes, I think you'd have to do like the close-ups of the shaking of my head and the eye rolls. That's the majority.
That happens a lot in the course of the day.
I don't understand this. I never will. You're driving up the beach road. Behind me is 3 miles of nothing but road.
JCW Lunacy. New episodes every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. For over 25 years, JCW has delivered the very best in pro wrestling entertainment, bringing fans deep storytelling drama, gut-busting comedy, and unbelievable in-ring action. From wild characters to unforgettable rivalries, don't miss a single moment. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. JCW Lunacy.
I'm coming up to you, and you decide at the last moment in a black pickup truck from Michigan that you're going to go ahead and pull in front of me and make me slam on my brakes and go from, because I've got my cruise set on because I'm not going to get fucked with by the cops. So my cruise is set on 39 and a 35. I know I won't get fucked with. So now I have to fucking hit my brakes, and now I'm behind this fuck. And they're going 27 miles an hour in a 35. They couldn't have waited for my car to go by and then got behind me and drove 27. And so then I always do the go to the left. So I'm looking, like I'm making eye contact with the human through their their side mirror, like, fucking really? And I pull back in, and 9 times out of 10, that because people are always on their phones, and I don't drive on my phone. So I always have to give the person, like, okay, he's on his phone, he's not paying attention, but in essence, I mean, if I didn't slam on my brakes, I would have slammed into him.
Yeah.
Like it was like a really shit poor call, and I usually do the peer out because a lot of people on the beach come down and they're older, like in their 60s, like me. Why the fuck can I drive and they can't? But that's a different story. So this guy makes eye contact with me and realizes that he's cut me off, and so now he goes 37. So I'm like, all right, 37.
Giving you some room. Okay.
37 is now I'm back behind him at 35, and I've got that comfortable gap that if somebody decides they want to walk in front of him, I can stop. But I mean, I'm a defensive driver. So now we get to Dunlawton, and there's 2 turn lanes, and both of those are red, and the lane that I'm in, and I'm going to continue to be in, is now green. Well, now because he's not going to give me the courtesy of a turn signal, so I know that he's going to go. Now he's just in front of me, but he's again going 25 because he has a red light in his mind. He just hasn't determined which of the 2 lanes he's going to get into yet. And I'm behind him like, when you get over, dumb fuck, I can go through the green light. So, and now he's 30 feet past where he should have gotten over. And so I'm like, I don't want to miss this fucking light. So I give him the fucking doo-doo, the double tap, like, are you turning? And he realizes, oh, this guy's still behind me. So he gets over and I go straight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Like, how like, what's that person's IQ? Like,
This was a big part of your day.
where's his mind? But it's like, when it's every 7th car, and I understand they're down on vacation. I get it. Like I'm.
Well, the road you're talking about, if it's the one I'm thinking of, there's some beautiful homes.
No, there's not. There's a fucking shitty ass motel there.
Oh, you're talking about all the way up. I'm talking about
I'm talking
along.
about going over the bridge.
Oh no,
Done-
I'm on. Is
this
it
is-
Atlantic?
Yeah, but this is Atlantic. But you've passed the homes now. You're at the point where it's businesses, and there's that Pirates Cove Like it's
no,
time.
I'm down by the lighthouse still.
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
There's no turning down there. It's like this motherfucker, like it's time for him to, he's going mainland. I'm staying beachside. And it's like, come on, dude, fuck. And he's got Michigan tags on top of that. And I'm thinking like, and then I'm thinking, this motherfucker probably is from Marquette, Michigan, or someplace in the Upper Peninsula where he doesn't even see cars. You know?
That's not a 313 guy.
No.
No.
But on top of that, the Michigan tag says Winter Wonderland. What exactly is the selling point on the back of that tag that makes you want to go to Michigan? Because everybody loves fucking winter.
It might have been a rental.
No, it was a fucking. This was a fucking. This you can tell a rental, especially a truck, by the rims and the lift, and this ain't no rental.
Gotcha.
This is, yeah.
This is an owned, tricked out.
The ongoing worst drivers since I've been down there are Georgia. Is absolute, but I lived in Georgia for a while, and once you leave Atlanta, I think the average IQ is about 40, 8 miles outside of like 275.
Shout out to all our Georgia listeners.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Macon in the house.
And then Pennsylvania. I guess they're so used to being behind the Amish, they just say
They think a cart could pull in front of them, a horse-drawn cart at any moment.
Yeah, they're in oxen mode.
Yeah.
But
Dom will exclude Pittsburgh from that for you.
No, Pittsburgh is pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll exclude them from the conversation.
It's pretty
Kev,
good.
if someone,
I'm not saying it's. There's you feel it in Pittsburgh.
You feel it?
You head out to the airport. You get away from the city and head out to the airport, and it's like, oh, come on, motherfucker. There's a 50 in the left-hand lane every time.
Kev, if someone brings the Wilt book, they were asking in the chat, will you sign it at WrestleCon if somebody brings the Wilt next door to the Black Millionaire? Will you at least sign that if they pay? Good. And Wes, I can't let your Roger Deakins cinematography comment go without a rebuttal. I'll throw in Darius Kahonji, DP for Seven, the Morgan Freeman Brad Pitt film. I loved the work in that. I'll tell you why, if you'd like, Wes. He threw the color film through a black and white wash, which is how he got that kind of silvery overlay in the color film to add to the darkness of that. I was a DP for one feature film, I can tell you this here, called A Clown in Babylon. Please go see it. And I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite things to do in film was DP work. Now, this was before video, so you had to know in your mind what it was going to look like using the film stock. I used Ilford film stock for that because it had a darkness and a graininess that the Kodak black and white was too pretty. It was a really dark film, and I loved the darkness of the Ilford 400 film speed. And you had to know, based on what your light readings were and what your film speed was, what it was going to look like in your mind. You didn't see it in a monitor. You could see your framing in a monitor, but you didn't know what the film was going to come back looking like with the light sensitivity. You were doing that in your head with your light readings in all corners of the room in your film stock. So go see A Clown in Babylon and watch my fine work. All right.
So now I know what it's like when full like fledged dementia sets in.
What I just espoused?
Yeah, that's.
You mean having to know what the world will look like.
That's what it'll sound like. Just a bunch of just babble.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
Absolutely.
It's pretty technical.
Not so much. You know what I'm fucking talking about.
No, I don't.
Context Clues says, I'm pretty sure microwave oven technology came from NASA, and the levels of mental health, autism, and other numerous childhood disorders seem to rise with the increase of microwaves distributed through the herd.
Funny that this person says this, because there was a article I read that today's microwave oven has more power than the lunar module. So I just want to throw that out there.
Okay.
So
fair. John Stonebreaker, Kev, can you talk about your experience in China? Did you get out to sightsee, enjoy the culture? Did you stay on the set in your hotel room?
No, there's no staying it. No, I got out. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
You're looking at 22 years ago. Completely different China.
If you want to join everyone in the room here, you're going to go to KliqThisTV.com, join the 11 Soft Club. And for that measly $9.99 a month, you get to be with us before the show for the pre-show. You get to be with us for the live taping. You get to exclusively ask Kev questions here. You get your show early. You get it without commercials. That's by going to KliqThisTV.com or go to Kliq This Shop. Get some gear. I think this one has been retired, but I have my I Got Buried by the Kliq shirt, and you can wear cool shit like that too if you go to KliqThisShop.com. Kevin, I watched both SmackDown and Raw.
No, we're not going into wrestling.
None at all.
Not right now. We're not going to get pressed for time and not cover the fucking tweet that our president dropped with the fucking
we could do that first.
We got to do that first.
Absolutely. So you're talking about the one, of course, that's... Go ahead. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
No, go ahead. Maybe Steve could find it for us, and we could put it up.
There were a couple of off the rails. There was the one threatening the end of an entire civilization.
That's one we want.
Okay. There was a profanity-laden one prior to that, though.
Yeah, but that one didn't start the Fox News doomsday countdown that they had on their programming.
So, Steve, if you can find the... just search those words, end of civilization, or end your civilization. I cannot recall another president ever putting any conflict that would involve... You there, Kev? All right, he's back.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're getting intermittent interference.
Yeah, I just looked at my text messages, and hot-wired planned maintenance in your community has been postponed because shit's working so well. And then we have a hot-wire communication service alert to keep you connected. Your community is temporarily on a backup network.
Oh, there you go.
Speeds may be slower while we restore full fiber service. Yeah, I'm on AOL fucking call up right now. Full service is expected by 4:35 a.m. today. So, that's
they taking any money off your bill?
Thank you for your patience. And I'm typing fuck you. I did. I just typed fuck you.
That'll be next year's training manual. A whole civilization, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran.
As we eliminate them.
Right.
So
the entire God bless the good people, but the entire civilization's being wiped out.
Yeah.
Now, 47 years. I think we talked about why are we starting the count?
At 47, because I don't think, I think that's when they took over the embassy. And I don't
47.
think that most Americans realize that the CIA put the Shah of Iran into their government, and he had death squads. Like, I don't think people know the background of the CIA's interference into Iran and what brought the Ayatollah out of hiding for this whole situation to occur. So I would like everyone out there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, could you please Google the Shah of Iran, and can you Google the situation with the CIA, and so you have an idea that I also please look at Prussia, Persia. Look at the history. Like, we've been around for 250 years. This civilization has been around for at least 3,000 years.
A few thousand, yeah.
You know, so it's like, and I'm in no way pro for this fucking bullshit. Like, you go outside and, you know, I guess there was a wrestler that was like a decorated wrestler in Iran, and he said pretty much this is kind of bullshit. And they took him out and gave him the homeland, put his noose around his neck and hung him by a crane for a couple of days so everybody could see what the fuck goes down. Now, there's no place for that on our planet. But I have a problem with, I was 100% behind us with the B-2 strike that sent them back at least 10 years from having a nuclear weapon. And I thought that, okay, that was, I was absolutely, I thought, I praised Trump on this show. Thought it was a fucking great call, ballsy move. Nobody was hurt. Perfect. Set them back. How we coattailed Israel to attack them again because they were hours within having another nuclear weapon either is really, really, really bad intelligence on our behalf, and maybe if the Bride of Frankenstein wasn't looking for votes in Georgia and maybe was looking for Iranian intel, maybe if we had people in the jobs that could actually do the jobs. In order to be in charge of our Central Intelligence Agency, I would think that one of the keys that you would look for would be intelligence. Just me, call me crazy. So now there's still the enriched uranium that we have not gotten our hands on. We somehow miraculously was able to, a pilot got shot down and he was able to, on foot in 30 hours cover over 100 miles, or we send in a group of special ops to a site where we thought maybe we could get the uranium and pull it out, but we couldn't, and pretty much did a Jimmy Carter, let's leave some fucking, I think they were C5s and a couple other fucking aircraft. Let's burn them down and get the fuck out of here. But that's all cool too, because, you know, yay, yay, yay.
But Kev, something that, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Something that's missing from a lot of the Iran discussions and peace talks is Israel, right? Like,
They weren't even in it yesterday. When the first draft came out and they said that they were talking to the two cats from Pakistan, it said nothing about Israel abiding by this ceasefire. So,
and I find it hard to believe that this would not have come up, particularly with everything going on over there.
But Israel attacked. After that point, Israel attacked, and the Iranians said no deal, because the Israelis attacked.
So who dropped the ball with this here?
Well, doesn't everybody have to be? I mean, it's like
ceasefire should mean ceasefire.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
Hey man, we done. Bam! What the fuck was that? Well, I thought maybe I'd get one more jab in. But now we're done. So now, if Iran didn't want to make a nuclear weapon, all they can fucking possibly be concerned with now is having a nuclear weapon, because it's the only thing that stops us from attacking North Korea, and they have to have one too now, because we just fucking attack them for no reason. And it was over regime change. And when you have an ideology that's that embedded, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing that's almost impossible to get past. And we were talking about this with Israel and Palestine last year, and religion is rooted in this entire thing, in custom and culture and politics. And we are very much on the other side of the fence from all these things that they share over there. And that's the heart of the issue between Israel and I don't feel this is a land or a territory thing. It's rooted in religion. And it's impossible to ever usurp that, because it's not just chopping up land and dividing land. It's all rooted in holy land. It's a combustible, deadly mix, and it really does have to be handled skillfully by leaders of the world that are forced to do this. And I think Kevin might have just been taken out by one of Trump's nuclear missiles for having us read that on the air.
You can have all the regime change you want, but when it comes down to it, the regime it doesn't change the ideology of the country.
Correct. And that's why it's an impossible, without being handled with some kind of finesse. You're never going to be able to navigate countries have very different belief systems, much older.
You know,
than ours.
Scott used to. He had like these really simple things when you would like think that this problem is so complex, and how could we ever, how can we work through this? And I remember one time. It was with the Nasty Boys, And it was when Jerry came at him and knocked his tooth out with the whole bullshit
Sure.
that went down in SAGs in Shreveport. And I just wanted to kill Jerry. And as I was walking in, I got a aluminum baseball bat from Sting, and I was walking in there, and he grabbed me by my shoulder, and he turned me around. His face, his blood all over his face, and he looked me dead in my eyes, and he says, "Kev, he thinks he's in the right." And then he did that fucking Scott where he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and shakes his head like, and that's what happens in our world. Their customs and their beliefs and what they do are not ours, therefore they're wrong. They're the terrorists, but through their eyes, we're the infidels.
Well, I was going to say it's a two-way street.
Right. So if there's not dialogue and, like, I don't care who you are, anytime in my life that I've been in a situation where there's either somebody's has a gun they want to use, they pulled a gun, any of those situations, the minute that respect becomes apparent, not fear, but respect. You have to respect. You have to show people respect. There's a lot of people on this planet, and a lot of I've been through a lot of fucking really rough parts of a lot of cities in this country, and man, that respect goes a long way in getting a fucking nod and a pass through a fucking piece of town you should not be in.
Mm-hmm.
And that when we were in Sacramento and Bam Bam dissed those gang members, the Latino gang members, and we just showed them respect, and it was cool. And he didn't show him respect, and he almost got his brains blown out.
Yeah.
And it's just you gotta just because we have this incredible military power, they're still slinging $30,000 drones like it was day one. They're still shooting fucking like we had no idea how much they had. Like nobody wants to lose I forget who it was, but maybe it was Tucker Carlson. It was Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson said that this is a modern society. Like people don't realize how Western Iran had become. In the mid '70s, like there was like women went to college, Levi's were like they were black marketed. It was like one of the hottest things was Levi's. They were a very westernized society, and they were becoming more and more westernized, which was, I'm sure, one of the reasons that the Ayatollah and that regime came back into strength. But you also have to realize that when you knock out a power grid, you're killing those children that are on incubators. You're killing the grandmother that's on a respirator. you have to look at these things through a microscope, and you have to realize that it's human life, and it's somebody's parent, somebody's child, somebody's. It's not just fucking shock and awe and we're this and we're that, because that's not what we used to stand for. I grew up pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one republic for which it stands, under God, and our vice president is in Hungary with a dictator that's pro-Putin, anti-Ukraine, and we're trying to get this guy reelected in Hungary. And our president touts on Fox News and to anybody that will listen to how great things are in Hungary, yet Hungary is the poorest country in the EU. It's a shithole, but people don't know that because why would they care?
Right. And we accept what we're told. See, we've talked on here about what news used to be and then what news is today. Like our parents' generation of news, where you got the news and then you made up your mind and you agreed or disagreed. You didn't have news catered to you. So if you don't look, Kevin, for things like that, if you don't have an analytical mind to sit there and go, is everything all right in Hungary? And then look for the stats, you may never get them because you're in your bubble.
Right.
The bubble that you're comfortable in.
And
we're not a curious people anymore.
Just because you don't know something, and there's a lot, I mean, there's so many things that I know absolutely nothing about. Like when you were just talking film stock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that we had that, because it's a perfect example of what we do. I had no idea what you were talking about. Therefore, I shut my small mind down to it. That's what we do. It's not of importance to me, so I'm not going to. But when our vice president is pushing to get somebody reelected, and that tie-in is an anti-Ukraine situation where I was brought up in my socialization where we fought communism, and if you had a democracy, we were always, the United States were always on the side of democracy, of the voice of the people. And now is CBS becomes basic government news, and CNN's probably going to go away, and this world we have that used to be a free country, and we lose our freedoms from the Patriot Act on forward. You know, we lose our freedoms on a daily basis. And I was talking to you, and I said, it's 8 o'clock last night, and it's basically going to be either a pushback or we're going to annihilate a country.
Right.
And I've got a 7:30 dinner date with our friends and my wife, and she hasn't prepared anything to eat, and she's already taken a shower and got dressed. So we have a dinner date. So if the world ends, I guess we'll catch it after we get home, which is so fucked up. But being who I am, I can't leave the house until I get some kind of clarity that this somebody's a calmer mind, a more stable fucking thought is going to get me at least
Prevail.
Yeah, get me at least through dinner. Nobody eats dessert at the table, so I know it's we don't have to worry about the coffee and all that bullshit. But and then they just at the last second they said wait, and then they showed the news release that the U.S. was talking with Pakistan, and it was a paragraph, but in that paragraph they used the actual word peace twice. Of course, under the circumstances, or the the straits had to be opened. Well, before we went over there and attacked them, I don't remember the straits being run by the Iranians.
Well, that's the question. Who controls or is it might? Is it by might? Whoever can get the most ships out there to blow anybody out of the water that.
But it's not that, because if it was ships, we'd blow them out. We'd destroy them. It's the hidden missiles that are in that rocky region that goes along that whole west coast, or a drone, or just something that they can. You have to realize that there's not much of a sport to striking the slowest moving vehicle on Earth that's filled with an astronomical amount of flammable fucking fluid.
Explosives.
Yeah, like it's. And then how many?
A whole other thing, Kevin, which. Did we mention Lebanon at all right now? Because
oh my God, Lebanon! When you look at drone footage of that, and Lebanon looks like Gaza.
And Israel's active there, and
a little bit.
So is this a violation? Now I know the White House has said it doesn't count. That doesn't count with this ceasefire.
But it does to Afghanistan.
That's
to
saying.
Iran.
So,
Iran says that this attack. Now, of course, we all know that Iran is a fucking huge player in global terrorism, and Hezbollah is one of their proxies. So we all know we know the players. We know the players.
Nobody has gone to bat for the folks in Iran. I'm not talking about the citizens. I'm talking about the government
regime.
and their actions.
No,
that regime. Nobody's going to bat for them. It's how we handle this, which is entirely what's in question here.
It's fucked up. But how many people out there right now that are listening to this realize that when we store oil, when you think about stored petroleum, stored oil, stored gas, whatever it is, you think about a giant container that's sitting on the land someplace. In my mind, I picture it down in Louisiana or Texas on the coast, and there's a refinery, and there's those giant fucking, containers that hold the oil. And they occasionally get hit by lightning and explode and shit like that. But I don't think that people realize the size of the tankers and the amount of fuel that those tankers hold. And that as soon as any kind of international strife happens, all those oil-producing countries load every tanker, barge, everything they have, and they move it 12 miles away from the coast into international waters. And now, when it went out and it was $61 a barrel, and it's still sitting out there right now, and it's $118 a barrel, that's called profit.
Yeah.
That's part of the game. And then on top
What's
of
the
that,
highest it hit? Was it 110?
I saw 114.
Did you? Okay.
I think it was that Brett hit 114.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
I could be completely wrong, but like I've got to buy gasoline tomorrow, and I know that Beachside Premium is probably going to be $5.29. Now for me, I'll put my credit card in the slot. I'll open my gas cap. I'll put the fucking thing in. I'll press it. I'll go sit in my car and listen to some tunes. When I hear it fucking go ka-dunk, I'll get out. I'll put it back in. I'll shut the fucking lid on my car because no cars have caps anymore. And I won't look and see how much it costs. I won't fucking do a backflip. I won't fucking write my congressman. I'll fucking reset the triptych. I'll reset my miles per gallon. And I'll go do my next fucking task. Just as if grass-fed beef goes up $4 and my wife and I eat 1.5 pounds in a meal because I've got to have an extra round of protein 3 hours later, that's not going to, because we're eating at home and we eat clean, it's like we don't eat anything processed. Like we're eating cheaper than a family of 3 could at McDonald's. So I just don't see how like a normal, not normal, but just like middle class is like 134 now. Like $134,000, I think is middle class. I might be wrong, but we did look up poverty, and I think poverty was $38,000 for a family of 4. So I just don't see how it's even feasible, let alone being a senior and getting $1,600. You know,
Yeah.
we got no problem shooting a $1.2 million missile at a $30,000 drone because it was so end of the world that we did this at this time, that we didn't put together, we didn't have a better plan. We didn't even have a mission. We didn't have objectives.
Well, maybe they weren't sure.
I mean, I will say, though, that nobody's really brought up that much about the Epstein files in the last 6 weeks.
That's true. And I know who can't bring it up is Pam Bondi.
Bondi now is a civilian. She can client person that she can, and she can just she can ollie north it anyway. She can plead the fifth till the fucking the cows come home. You know, it's like, and you knew there was no heat because when he was talking the night before he got rid of her on TV from the podium, he mentioned her like, hey Pam, like, there wasn't any fucking heat there.
No, he said she was doing a great job.
Yeah, the next day, fucking it's just like,
you know, that was a wise decision to take her out of the Epstein play. Anyone could hear that when they say, yeah, you know, I could hear it, Kev. You know why I could hear it? Because of RAYCON.
oh.
And RAYCON's amazing.
Also stolen by my wife.
She clipped them too? Did she get both?
Yeah, of course.
Two phenomenal models from our friends at RAYCON. And, Mother's Day is here. Mother's Day is coming up. If you're out there, you're looking for something to fit into mom's everyday life, whether she likes to go on morning walks, running errands, even talking on the phone, the Essential Open Earbuds are a great option because they're open ear. She can listen to music, podcasts, and still hear what's happening around her. She doesn't have to lose touch with where she is and whatever she's doing. The sound stays clear and balanced without feeling closed off from her surroundings, keeps her safe and aware. It's a thoughtful Mother's Day gift. I want you guys to consider that. I use them for the show. They're in my ears right now because, A, I don't have to have the clunky headphones on, but also B, I do like to hear my voice and my lovely timbre, but also the crew and Kev and everyone else. So if you're like me and you think this will work for mom, or you want a pair for yourself, regular earbuds are going to block everything out. You can't hear someone calling your name, car horns. This is completely different. Okay, you can hear everything happening around you and whatever your choice of feed is going into your head. They have over 3 million customers, RAYCON does, and the sound quality is just as good as the way more expensive brands, all right? But these are half the price because you're not paying for celebrity endorsements other than me and Kevin Nash. I love them. Use them for the show. Use them outside. I was telling Kev when I was shoveling the snow, I had these on too. He shuddered at the term shoveling the snow when I mentioned it. Right now, we're going to help you, help mom or yourself, and grab a pair with 15% off. Don't forget, lightweight, a multi-angular hook here in the open ear design, multi-point connection. I actually am connected to my phone as I'm connected to the computer and the show here. So celebrate the moms in your life. Go to buyraycon.com, RAYCON.com. Kliq Open is the code, KLIQOPEN, and you're going to get 15% off the Essential Open Earbuds. Thank you, RAYCON. Love them, use them. You're not allowed to leave because we love everything you're doing and making. You know how trite it feels right now with the world on the precipice of World War for me to ask you what you thought of a CM Punk promo or a Cody Rhodes promo in the grand scheme of things?
If we were to talk about the actual X's and O's of a match, I think that would, but since we do cover, we cover the wrestling industry, I think that I thought both had really, really good promos. I thought Cody's Phil is. I've seen that out of Phil so many times. Phil has the ability. That's what brought him to the dance. That was a pipe bomb.
Yeah, that was Punk being Punk right there.
Yeah, that was
again, which was good to see.
Yeah, and it's one of his it's one of his strongest suits. And there's a lot of people, and I listen to a lot of different wrestling voices. Some of our counterparts, a lot of guys I've got a lot of respect for and value their opinion. But I also think a lot of, I was listening to Bully Ray the other day, and he was saying that, in his opinion, the Orton Rhodes match didn't need anything. It had 20 years, like the wrestling match, and I think that what both those promos did was, if nothing else, they solidified who the face and who the heel was. The kick in the balls for McAfee made Cody the baby face. And I think that Randy was getting a kind of a mixed signal on, because he's so fucking over. And I think now with what happened and tying in, I think anytime you tie in to what's real, and that's McAfee, that he works for ESPN, and that package to watch Raw is on that $30 ESPN. So that's, I mean, people understand that that's real. And so, and I personally like Pat. I've watched his show at least for a half hour every day on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And once I kind of see what's happening financially, I usually watch his show to see what's going on sports-wise. So I think that's, I see Bubba's point that, yeah, it didn't need anything, but it does add. If you do something and it doesn't add to the match, then there's no reason to do it. But if you do it and it, for some people, it just makes it easier for them to follow where the bouncing ball's going.
Yeah, but I might be in the bully camp in that, yes, it may accomplish what you're saying, but it seemed random. It seemed the alliance with Orton seemed random, and McAfee's comments about the company, which, like, we've never established before that there's, he's never said anything bad about WWE, and it just kind of seemed pulled out, a card played at the last minute with nothing established, which was kind of left field.
But I don't think, I think you're looking at the tee shot. Where the ball landed was Cody's interview. I think that's where we had to get. You don't get to Cody's interview without the gaga before that. And if Cody doesn't cut that promo, I don't know if he goes in probably a 70-30 face at this time.
Okay, yeah. So I see what you're saying with the establishment of the. This goes back to the, they got to cheer for somebody, right? That's what you were saying.
And I'm a staunch believer in that. So, and that was the best promo I've ever seen Cody cut. So, that, I mean, it's always going to be, there's an action, and what's the reaction? Well, there was an action that happened. The reaction is, you solidified me that fucking is white meat babyface as Cody is, and he stayed white meat babyface. He didn't say, like when John Wick, when they ask him, are you back in the game? And he says, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm pretty much fucking back in the game. Like, clear and simple. I'm a fucking killer again. Cody said, I don't know. I got 2 kids telling me I got to go medieval. I don't know if I have that. Well, okay, I get it, but I think as life goes on and you get more pieces, especially, you know, like children, like you're more protective. No, you have it. You have it. You definitely have it. Like nobody's touching your wife, nobody's touching your kids. It's there. I think that Randy brought it out. I think that you play that as I don't know. I don't know what this just brought. I do know that it changed me. I do know that I'm not the same Cody Rhodes I was when I walked in this building today. Now I have now what's in store? What do we see when it adds such a huge layer from the psychology standpoint of how Cody Rhodes goes into this match.
Okay.
And then I look
Well
at
done.
I look at Punk, and you know he kind of twice said fucking he twice in his interview, because he's kind of the kid on your doorstep that you can't get rid of. You know, he's kind of the everyman. You know, like I think that I don't know Phil that well, but I don't think that Phil is a very extravagant person. I think he lives a life kind of like I do, like kind of low-keyed life where I doubt he drives a fucking $1.5 million fucking supercar. But at the same sense, twice in that interview, though, he was going after Roman and cutting him down, and he basically said twice, I have fuck you money. And I don't think that, knowing that he has fuck you money, I don't think that is what his diehard people want to
His
hear.
base, right? Yeah.
Well, that's why they start chatting for Roman.
Right.
So, well played.
But was that chant? So when I was hearing it, I just thought they wanted the confrontation. I didn't think it was a choosing a side.
He told them ahead of time that he wasn't going to be there, so there was no reason to.
Well, sometimes you hear that, and then they come out of the crowd. You know,
he said he wasn't there. He said you can chant all you want. He's not there.
Right.
So that I thought that they.
Britt bringing up that Punk made a Chris Benoit reference in his promo when he was talking about the ghost that haunts in that arena. Their match was supposed to be there that weekend when Benoit killed his family and himself. I didn't catch that. I
didn't
mean,
catch
that.
I didn't understand. I caught it. I didn't understand the reference.
Right.
So thank you for clarifying that. I think that both the main events are very intriguing.
Yeah.
You know, I think they did a really good job. I think the Gunther Seth is really fucking solid. I think that Femi fucking Brock is solid.
And Brock has to put over Femi. He's got to make Femi now, right? You heard that crowd. They could do so much with him.
But you have to. I mean, when you're that over as Brock is, and man, all you gave is maybe a fucking pint of blood, and he's went that, like he's stratosphered it. Imagine fucking in the biggest stage of them all, fucking getting your shoulders laid down, 1, 2, 3. Fuck, man, he's gonna have a rocket ship up his ass.
Yeah.
Good. To my friend Paul, fucking just, God bless you, good luck, and I hope you got some good fucking shit, because, it's really it's really fucking hard to top. And I can only say this because I had the conversation with Darby. It's really hard to top climbing Everest, and Brock's kind of Everest.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to top that storyline going forward. But
It'll be a good watch. WrestleMania
Yeah.
this weekend,
yes, this week
as you listen to us on Monday.
I'll be leaving in a few days here. I'll be leaving in 2 days as we listen.
Yes, that's right.
So
Reminds me we have to talk about scheduling after we get off the air here.
yeah.
But you're not getting away yet without a Mount Nashmore, Kev. I want to know who's on your Mount Nashmore of TV cops.
Cops.
Yeah.
Like, they have to work for the police force?
It's a good question. You know, it's really funny you say that because I was going through mentally in my head. Like, I went to Magnum PI right away. I went to
Right.
Crockett and Tubbs right away. But then I was like, well, fucking Quincy was solving cases as the medical examiner. But I think I'm going to go cops. Gun carrying, badge carrying, chasing the bad guy, cops.
God, there's not like.
Well, does anyone I mentioned make the list? Does Magnum PI make the list, Tom
No,
Selleck?
he's a PI.
Oh, that's true. He's not a cop.
He's not a cop.
Were you a Miami Vice guy, Crockett and Tubbs? Are they getting on there?
No, I was in Europe. I watched all that secondhand.
I got one for you. I got yours. I got your first one.
You don't.
I do.
Unless it's-
Columbo.
I was
Columbo.
Okay, I was yes. Columbo would be in my top 4. But that whole like McLeod, like that whole series of guys, there was who did Rock Hudson play? McMillan and wife. He was McMillan. So my favorite cops. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'll go Columbo. Was Kojak a cop?
Yeah. Yeah. You can
Oh,
get him
he'd
in
be my
there.
favorite. Cat from The Shield.
Oh, the Michael Chiklis character?
Yeah,
yeah, I forget his name.
definitely him.
Vic Mackey.
Yeah, he'd be in there.
Starsky and Hutch. Let's see. Any of the? Did you watch the old shit like Dragnet and?
Yeah, I was gonna say McGarrett because he was a cop.
Oh God, who's that now?
Jack
McGarrett.
Lord. Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, Hawaii 5-0, Jack Lord. Okay, that was the character name.
Bookham, yeah, McGarrett.
Bookham Dano.
He'd have to be in there.
All right, so I got Columbo.
But I was a huge, like when I was a kid, like one of my favorites was Mannix. But Mannix was a private, like Mannix, Rockford, all those guys were PIs.
Oh, Rockford Files was a PI.
Yeah, he was a PI.
James Garner. All right, so we got Columbo on there. Peter Falk. We got
Was Beretta a cop?
Beretta was a cop.
I like Beretta.
There's your 4. We got Beretta, Kojak, Columbo, and the Jack Lord character, Hawaii 5-0.
And then it'd be hard pressed not to take Tom Selleck in Blue Bloods.
As the commissioner, right?
But still a cop.
Still a cop. I did 2 episodes of that show. All right, that's good. So maybe we'll make him an alternate. He can come off the bench, maybe.
Well, he could actually. We could. I would take him over Kojak, just because of the Magnum rub,
Right.
like the double. Because I'd want Magnum in there for sure. Because that was like. See, Magnum had the fucking Magnum had it. Guys wanted to be him, chicks wanted to bang him. Magnum had it. Columbo, no.
No, and listen, props to any network that goes with a guy with a glass eye on, to put him in the lead. I don't think you'd see that today. But and Rock Hudson almost made the list, which was unbelievable that you were going there.
Yeah,
when you asked what he played, of course the answer was the skin flute, but.
Hey, easy.
Well done. All right, back with Kliq This. And, just right off camera, we were discussing how the future of erectile function has arrived. Blue Chew Gold is changing the way millions of men are getting it on in 2026. The new arousal-boosting formula combines passion and performance, into one tablet, dissolves under your tongue now, super fast onset. Okay, no more waiting for it to kick in. No more moments ruined by any performance anxiety. Just the results you want when you want them. Most ED meds, right, they focus only on blood flow. But now with Blue Chew Gold, they're going further. They're combining it. 2 ingredients for blood flow, 2 for mental arousal. Okay, and that connection is so goddamn potent. You're not just physically ready, you're in the mood, you're mentally ready. This type of innovation is why Blue Chew Gold is the #1 brand in erectile function. Discover your options by going to bluechew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners, as always. Right now, when you buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, you get the 3rd for free if you use the promo code NASH. All right, that's promo code NASH. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info. Thank you, Blue Chew, from the bottom of our little hearts for being with us.
Or the base of our shafts.
Exactly.
I think that, like, with this product, with the arousal, especially with our demographic, this is one, guys, man, where I've talked to guys before. They're like, I try this and I try that, and I'm thinking, like, you don't realize, like, if you're not aroused, an ED does nothing.
Nothing. I think that's the misconception that people who have never taken these, or women think you pop pill, you walk around with a rock hard dick all day.
Man.
You got to get to that point. It just increases the blood flow.
No, you've got to have something that arousal. You've got to, and I would pray I didn't have to tell anybody that this is 99.9% mental.
As all good action is, yes, you're right about
that. It's a visual, it's a mental, but it's all in the brain, and by covering the arousal, I mean, I think it's absolutely huge. And you're getting
huge.
You're getting
huge.
You're getting a month free. You're getting 2 months, and you get
buy 2 months, you get a month free. Blue Chew Gold, tremendous. Go to BlueChew.com. Promo code Nash. Gracias, Blue Chew.
Tell them Nash's cock sent you.
Ask Nash. You can do this too by going to KliqThisTV.com and joining the likes of Edgar Watson. Does Cody go heel at Mania, and does Heyman turn on Brock?
Heyman doesn't turn. No. It's still Lesnar. You don't want a Tyrannosaurus chasing you the rest of your life. So no, Heyman's a non-factor.
How about Cody?
No. He doesn't go heel. He might get beat as a babyface, and which makes sense for him to chase a heel Randy Orton. He can't go heel because the ball shot already established the turn.
Right.
So we're not gonna
then do another turn after.
Yeah, we're not gonna clarify which way we're going and then spin it again.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Edgar. Spider Drummer, I watched Christian Laettner's The Shot and was wondering what some of your favorite college basketball moments are.
I was pretty fucking happy when that fucking clock went to 00 on Monday with Michigan.
Oh.
I mean, there's.
But a spectacular comeback or a remarkable individual performance that comes to mind. Where did Laettner play? Minnesota? When he
No,
went
Laettner
pro?
played at Duke.
No. I meant when he went pro.
Bounced around.
Yeah. Never found footing.
No, he was solid.
In pros?
Yeah, I think I don't think he went to Minnesota. I know Kevin Love started in Minnesota.
He was on that team with Grant Hill, right? And
Yeah.
and Bobby
Hurley.
Hurley.
Yeah. No, that was Laettner was a bit. I mean, you watch that Fab Five fucking show, man, and all those fucking Weber and Howard both are like, man, that fucking white boy could play. Laettner was a motherfucker.
All right, Ace Ramon, have you ever heard of Snowflame, DC supervillain powered by cocaine?
No.
Look at him. Look at him. Does wrestler cocaine working top of the card at JCW? T. Blair, what was JJ like behind the scenes? Was he all business, or could he let loose a road story every now and then?
JJ was always cool. JJ wasn't a dick.
Yeah. But he could be relaxed and be one of the boys?
JJ was always, I always considered JJ one of the boys.
Yeah. I loved having him on.
It's like Ross. Like Jim was always just one of the boys. Jim was never a dick. There's very few guys that got in that position that were kind of dicks.
Right. All right, one more. Send me home with somebody, Steve-O. Book him, Steve-O. All right. Humberto Ramos, 80-30. Do you guys remember the gimmick royal at one of the Manias? Yes. Iron Sheik took forever, and Bobby Heenan said by the time he got to the ring, it would be WrestleMania 38. I do remember the gimmick battle royal.
I don't remember it.
I don't know what number. I guess it was WrestleMania 37. No, it couldn't have been. No, because we're only 42. I don't know what Mania it was when Bobby said we get to 38, but it was a good call. I do remember one show called Legends of Wrestling, which was a pay-per-view in the 90s where they brought the guys back for a card, and it was all legends, and it was
but it wasn't WWE.
No, and it was horrendously booked.
Wasn't that Abrams or one of those kind of cats?
A Herb Abrams deal, it might have been.
Yeah.
But it was a very poorly run production. Unlike this. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat. Created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Producer Steve Kaufman. Graphics by Dominic D'Angelo. Title, sequence, and audio edit by Wesley Burleson. Theme song by Dale Oliver. Technical research by Tristan Nash. Copyright 2026, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, want to get some Wi-Fi and do another?
Yeah.
the customer service never answers the